Hey my friends, this is LA Boy Scout. What you're looking at right now is some of my top EDC gear of 2014, but this is not what we're going to cover in today's video. Stick around for a future video in which I will talk about all this gear. Today, we're going to talk about my top 5 folding knives of 2014. Now let's qualify this list a little bit and explain it. This list is based on my opinion and my limited experience only. Your list might be completely different, and I actually encourage you to share your top 5 knives down in the comments section below. Also, these are not necessarily knives that were released in 2014. Some were recently released, while others have been around and been on the market for quite a long time. Last thing I want to emphasize is that these won't necessarily be the most popular, affordable, or highest quality knives either. These are simply knives that, for various reasons, I found myself using and carrying very frequently in 2014. So let's get into this list and talk about some of those 5 knives. First one I want to bring up is the Spyderco Delica 4 full flat ground. This comes in at about $65, $65.95 on Blade HQ. You can find it for other prices, varying prices, and varying levels of availability and color and so forth. A lot of different steel types. The standard steel type is VG10, which is this one. The blade length is about 2.5 inches. The handle thickness is around 0.4 inches. The weight is barely there, 2.5 ounces. Very, very lightweight. What do I like about the Spyderco Delica 4? It's so small. It's very light. It's durable. It's a great knife for carrying around in the outdoors. You actually might have seen this video or this knife on a recent hike that I did for to Mount Timpanogos with my friend Joe Carden. I took this knife because it is so light. It's got a great stainless steel on it. VG10 is very corrosion resistant and holds a fantastic edge. And once again, it's extremely light and very small, which makes it a great little hiking pocket knife. Really, really like it for a whole lot of reasons. And this one has found a home in my pocket quite a lot this year. Not that much in the past. I did carry it a bit before I reviewed it, of course, and used it before that, but I just found myself using it quite a lot more this year. One of those reasons might be that I tend to carry a knife more after I've done some customization to it or, kind of tinkered with it a little bit. And I did, in fact, strip and polish the clip on this Delica 4. It's normally black. That's how it comes if you were to buy it brand new. I went ahead and stripped all that paint off and polished it a bit. It's not the most beautiful polished job, but I like it. It works for me, and it makes it a little more special, a little more cool, and I have enjoyed carrying it quite a bit in 2014. So that is one of my top 5 for 2014, the Spyderco Delica 4 FFG. What's next on the list? How about this one right here? Oh yeah, the Lightning OTF. Man, this is a fun knife. This thing comes in at about, let's see, the weight on it, I'm not actually sure. It's pretty light. I would say that's 4 ounces or less. The handle thickness is like 0.51 inches. The blade length is 3.25, right in that EDC category, I would say. And the price on it is about $37.99 or a little more, depending on which type you get, which color, whether you get a coated blade or not. That's about the price that Blade HQ has it at. And it's the steel on it. I can't really tell you what the steel is. I can't really find any information on that. I will tell you that it sharpens pretty well. It does take a razor edge. It doesn't hold it for a really long time, but man, this is such a convenient and comfortable and easy to use knife, and I love it for so many of those reasons. Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer for the price. You get this very well executed OTF. It works great, fires fast. It retracts so easily. I had no idea how fun and how simple and convenient an OTF would be until I got into this one. It's a no-brainer for the price, like I said. And if your jurisdiction allows it, I highly encourage you to get a Lightning OTF. It's a really fun knife, great for EDC, great for all kinds of uses. Next on the list is a rather new knife. This one I think did come out in 2014. It's the ESEE Avispa. This is made by the guys that gave us, all the excellent ESEE knives. The Zancudo came from them, and that was a really nice EDC folding knife. I gotta say, this one is better in my opinion. I do like the Avispa quite a lot. Let's talk about some specs on it. The price, first off, is under 30 bucks, like $29.95. Now, you can get the coated blade, pay a little more. You can get it in all kinds of handle colors. It is a frame lock knife, so it's good construction on it. The pocket clip is reversible to tip up or tip down and on either side of the knife. One thing I've noticed about it, and I do plan on releasing a review on this knife. I haven't gotten one out yet. But one thing I've noticed about this pocket clip is if you do reposition it to here, here's what you're going to end up with. That pocket clip will actually push on the frame lock and actually make that a little bit harder to disengage. Okay, so bear that in mind if you decide to switch the position of that pocket clip. That could end up being a little less convenient, a little harder to operate for you. But again, it comes in lots of different colors. It's a really cool knife. Blade length 3.5 steel, AUS 8. Handle thickness about 3.6, and the weight is like 4.45. The thing I absolutely love about this knife is just how thin it is. This thing is like, it's a large knife that fills my hand really well, and yet it's so thin. It's about the thinnest of all the ones I'm going to have on the table today, or very close actually. There's one more coming after this that's a little bit thinner, I think, but not really noticeably. But it's just so thin, but you get so much knife for that small size and small and lightweight. So the ESEE Avispa is a huge win in my opinion, and it's quickly kind of just climbed the ranks for the list of 2014 knives. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can get a better look at that gigantic knife. Yeah, it's quickly kind of climbed the ladder and become a very impactful and cool knife in my collection for 2014. Moving on, this is one that's been around quite a long time, the Kershaw Leek. This is the frame lock version in the, what is it, DLC coated? I'm not exactly sure, but it's coated in black on the handle, obviously, and on the blade, the frame, I should say, frame slash handle, because it is a frame lock. And the Leek comes also in a liner lock version, as you probably know, because this has been around for quite a long time. I do prefer it in the tip down configuration because of the way that pocket clip rides. It rides a little, you know, kind of gives you a lot of handle sticking out of your pocket if you decide to go tip up. So I just go tip down, and you know, that's kind of my preferred method of carry. This is kind of the knife that I like to carry when I'm dressed up. Okay, like Sunday best. This is the one I generally carry. I might carry it in my pocket. What I'll typically actually do is put it in the waistband, and that's one of the reasons I like this one so much for that, because it slips in there so easily. It's so thin. What is the thinness on it? Handle thickness. It is thinner than the Avispa, with a handle thickness of 0.35 inches. So that is a fair bit thinner. And the steel on it, while I'm talking about it, is 14C28N. An excellent steel. On par in quality, for me, my perception, with VG10. And I just really like it. I like the performance of it. Holds a great edge, takes a razor edge. I really like it. So it's just a fantastic knife. Again, the Leek has been around a long time, but it's still a standard for me, one that I just keep going back to and can't get away from. So the Kershaw Leek is probably going to remain, if I do this video again for 2013, that could very well stay in the list as part of the best knives of 2015, I should say. So moving on, let's go to the last of these 5 knives that, again, as I said before, this is my personal list, the ones that I've had the best experience with in 2014. Again, please leave your list down in the comments section below. The last one on the list, Spyderco Sage 1. The Sage 1, man, this is one of those knives that, man, how do I phrase this? But it's one of those knives that's just got excellent fit and finish on it. It's made in the USA, so that's good. It's got that going for it, right? CPM S30V on the steel, which is a nice steel. Holds a great edge for a long time. It's got really nice ergonomics on it with that forward finger choil on it. Big wide spider hole to open it up. Feels really great in the hand. It just cuts well. It feels great to carry. So many nice things about this knife. It's one of those that I genuinely get excited about carrying. Do you ever have that feeling about certain knives? I mean, you look in your drawer, or wherever you keep your knives, and you're thinking, what should I carry today? And you see one that jumps out at you, you're like, yes, I'm going to feel good today. I like having that one in my pocket. And that's kind of how I feel about the Spyderco Sage 1. It's kind of a strange infatuation, but it's just, it is what it is. Carbon fiber scales really add to that. I mean, the sexiness and beautifulness of this knife, just off the scale for me. Deep carry pocket clip, really, really cool. Other specs on it, I did mention that it's CPM S30V steel. The handle thickness, I would guess, is around 0.45. I didn't find any actual data for that. So less than half an inch. And a blade length of about 3 inches. Great, great length. That's, you know, a lot of these knives are around that same length. Very, very good for EDC, everyday tasks, in my opinion. Just a fantastic knife, and one I, like I said, really get excited about having in my pocket. Let's throw in a bonus knife. We did 5, that's all 5, but you know what? If there's a runner-up, it would have to be this one right here, the Benchmade mini-presidio 525, which I believe, or I've heard, is discontinued by Benchmade. They're not going to be putting out this aluminum handled version anymore. Now it's just going to be the mini-presidio Ultra, which I was never very excited about. But when I got the standard mini-presidio in my hand, I was really, really stoked about it. And of course, you know, like I said, when I talked about the Delica, after you put a few touches on it, some personal touches to make it your own knife, you really kind of get a little more excited about it, a little more attached to it. And that's definitely the case with this mini-presidio, which I did a kind of a custom distressing job to. I really like it. Rounded these points right here. I talked about in the review why I did that and why I like that so much better. This knife has about a little less than a 3-inch blade length. The handle thickness is about the thickest of the ones on the table at about 0.55 inches. And steel is 154 cm. Again, an excellent steel. For me, I love it just as much as 14C28N and VG10. The performance level and the edge retention as far as resharpenability is all excellent. Weight on it, 3.7 ounces. Just a great EDC knife with good ergonomics, fantastic ergonomics, and just really love it. So there you go, guys. That is my list of 5 + 1 excellent folding knives, 4 or 5 knives that have just really, I don't know, kind of been a huge staple in my knife carrying arsenal throughout 2014. Hope this list has been helpful to you. And also, please, if you haven't already, leave your list of knives that have really that you've really connected with in 2014 to kind of inform me what you're into, because that might be something I want to add to my list for 2015. Guys, thanks very much for watching. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Happy New Year. See you later.